I think Rob has his mic on, and Dan can use this one, and then I'll run around with if we have this. Okay. Have we seen Rob? Oh, there he is. Okay.
Turn his mic back on. We're ready.
You want it so that's the issue. I don't know if you want it. There.
I don't do anything. 10:30.
Right, you'll just be up
Yeah,
for
that I knew. I had the date and where.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
Good. Pardon me? I just had an orange. Yeah, it was good.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. All right, everybody, let's come get our seats back. Good morning once again. Good morning to our friends who are joining us online. Hopefully we have sound this time, and so we are good to go. If you missed Rob's message at 9:30 because we were having some sound issues online, please tune in at 11:15 or catch the podcast later. It was a good one. It's very good. All right. So it's great to see everybody back. Thank you for coming back. Hopefully you got a little nacho snack. We want to respect your time, and we want to keep things moving. So we're going to just get right into it. Our volunteer treasurer, Dan Robertson, is going. She's partial, right? Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's been like 25 years, 27 years, something like that. 28 years. Yeah, for them. So, it's stuck. All right, so he is going to do a brief presentation, go over some of the results from 2025, talk about the budget in 26. The past 2 weeks in your Friday Flash, you had a link to the annual report. If you didn't see that, you can go back and click on it. You can also go to stmats.org/celebration, and that's a link. You'll find the annual report there. So all of the information is available for you to look at. After Dan finishes the financial presentation, I'm going to tell one story that sort of captures a lot of what we were talking about today, and then our final service starts at 11:15. So if you've been here this morning at 11:15, we promise you are out of here and on your way, and if you just came early, we are so glad to see you, and the service will start promptly then. So Dan and his wife, Katie, and their twin girls, who are in college now, have been faithful members and very dear friends, frankly, to me and to Mason for the past 20-plus years, I think it's been. And they're just great examples of people who let their light shine, and we're so thankful to Dan for serving as our volunteer treasurer. I asked him how many years it has been, and we couldn't remember. It's just been a really long time. So, so without further ado, Dan Robertson.
Good morning, everyone. Y'all know there's a gaming truck and nacho bar, right? Okay, so at least you chose this. So I'm very, very appreciative of that. So like Miriam said, it's been an honor to serve y'all as a volunteer for the last 20 years. It's never me by myself. It's always a team. Everyone's been with me, many people in the finance committee, but it's been fantastic. But enough about that. 2025. 2025 was an amazing, epic year. I don't know if you know this, but we raised more money in donations in 25 than we ever have before. I think you'll it was $1.3 million plus, which is insane, and that's only possible due to your generosity and God working through you and helping you donate to support the work here at St. Matthew's. It was also driven by our very expensive HVAC. That if you were here last winter, all the space heaters and everything else, that you'll remember. But yeah, we replaced our HVAC system. It cost us about $350,000, and we did that without having to go into debt. Again, amazing, only because of the generosity of you and God working through y'all. And so that was awesome. We also served our community, and I don't know if she's here, but under the leadership of the ministry of Kristen, thank you. So thank Kristen and the hundreds of volunteers she has working for her, that this amazing impact that we have, the $128,199 worth of impact and outreach would not have happened without all of y'all under Kristen's leadership. And you can see the pictures on the slides. You can see the pictures on the wall. I mean, we talk dollars. Dollars help us do work, but this is the work, right? The people we touch, the journey we take with God and Jesus along the way. And by modeling our lives after Jesus, we help families and schools and our neighbors, local communities here and globally. And then week after week here inside the church, we offer worship experiences that offer people an ability to come and get touched by Jesus, move along their journey wherever it may be. Some with no relationship with Jesus, all to those that are extremely in touch with Jesus, and everybody's welcome. But we had 23,552 people show up to St. Matthew's last year, which if you think about that, and I look at this, and you think of the 23,000 plus people touched by God and moving along their journey, when you go out into the world week after week, that's exponential benefit, exponential good that's happening in our journeys. We also had 10 baptisms, 3 receptions, 6 reaffirmations, 17 confirmations, our largest confirmation ever. I don't know if you picked up on it, but 2025, I don't know what the exact grammar word is, but it was a lot of ist, large ist, big ist, best ever. Where's Martha when I need her? So again, it's never been about the numbers, and you say numbers, we say number of people, but I say numbers of dollars. It's never been about either one of those. It's about the lives touched and the lives growing in connection with Jesus. Back to 25, as far as expenses go, obviously they were up. Huge HVAC expenses. Plus it was an aggressive budget. You can see here that's the DOAS, yes? Or is that the regular AC? Anyways, we have new things on the roof that help make this comfortable. And I can also thrilled, I'm personally thrilled, that we paid off 10% of our debt, which is amazing. Again, it only happens because of you, your generosity, and you allowing God to work through you, asking God, what would you have me do? And then executing that in your faithful giving. We had 318 individuals and families donate to support the church here at St. Matthew's. 100% of our donations come from y'all. There's no other source. There's no outside source. It's just what we do here. And of those donations, 25 were over $10,000, and 170 were under $1,000. But the amount doesn't matter. It's the relationship you have with God and your generosity. And every dollar is important, no matter how big or how small your gifts are. Every single one of them matters. We also had 101 families donate either online, recurring through our platform, or with intentional donations set up through their bank bill pay. This is amazing. I hope that you, if you haven't, hope that you would consider joining my wife and I and Katie and being intentional about your giving, intentional about your support of St. Matthew's and the work that we're doing, and hopefully setting up regular recurring donations. It helps us plan for the future, helps us meet needs as they arise. It helps us be in a position where we can always say yes to needs that come up and people that come to us in a time of need. And so as far as 25 goes, let's talk about the future. 2026, in the continuation of the theme, is our biggest, largest, most aggressive, most exciting budget we've had yet. I hope we get to say that every year. These numbers are tiny, but you can you can download them. Are they tiny up there? Oh, maybe not so much. But you can see our largest expense is our personnel. And this is what drives our worship and our ministries and makes the programming possible. And I'm assuming, hopefully, everybody knows that Josh will be joining us full-time in June. Very excited about that. I see a lot of nods. I don't know if you seeded the crowd, but I see a lot of nods and fist pumps back there, so good job. Very excited to have you join us. So all of this is to say we've got a huge opportunity, great things planned for 26. We couldn't do this without our staff. I don't know if y'all know, anybody know how many full-time staff we have? Three is the answer. Josh will make 4 when he comes on in June. But we have a lot of volunteers, we have a lot of part-time staff, and then we have 3, soon to be 4, very dedicated full-time staff that do a lot, an amazing amount of work here for us and for our community. Our second largest expense was outreach, and this includes all the food bags, the donations from y'all, the programming we do, the teacher support, the Thanksgiving, Easter, Christmas, giving tree, all of that support as needed that wasn't covered by donation, which a lot of it is, and fantastically so. And then general administration, office cost, communication, buildings and ground. Hopefully not so much expense this year as 25, but by keeping the facilities going so that we can do the work that we're called to do here in the building and on our grounds. And then spiritual formation, children's ministry, youth ministry, other programs that we may be running VBS throughout the year, and then the remaining smaller things that are very important, such as the Easter brunches, graduation lunches, baccalaureates, ultra supplies, live streaming, all that stuff that helps us bring all of the events here at St. Matt's out to the community. Overall, 25 was, 26 will be, an incredible year, very ambitious budget. It'll challenge us. We'll have to make great decisions. We'll have to probably ask y'all to give sacrificially and continue to have conversations with God. What would you have me do? So that we can move forward, know and share God's love, and develop a deeper connection with God and Jesus and those in our community here and around the world. And that's all I have, other than questions. And questions are always welcome. How much did I pay you?
8% of income is other? Like, can you be more specific on that? Where is it?
I'd have to, so we have like the all fund insurance, taxes if they apply, technology, which could. Right. Oh. So we have again, I don't have the thing in front of me. We'd have to go pull it up, but it's partially is surplus savings, partially it could be reserves from our reserve funds that we have for major repairs. So we have basically those two lines, other and surplus savings. Those are money that we have set aside currently that we expect to use to balance the budget in 2026. And so it also includes unforeseen donations. I'm trying to think what else is in there. But it's mostly the reserve funds, the seasonal reserves, the major repair reserves, and then surplus is strictly from our general accounting surplus. And also, questions are always encouraged. Even if I don't know the answer, I'll go find the answer. But yes, Anne.
No, I don't usually need a mic. Okay. I was just going to ask about the house next door. Do we still have a loan on the house, or is it sort of self-sufficient now?
It's not self-sufficient yet. It's a small mortgage. I think it's under right around 60. No. 600 is the main church loan. I think we're down around 60-ish grand on the Argonne house. So yes, we still have a small mortgage on that. And for those of you who don't know, she's talking about the house directly to your left as you exit on the back of the church. We own that property.
Is the endowment fund just zero for now and it'll go up if that gets added to?
So right now, I don't remember exactly, the endowment fund is about $125,000. These are donations that people have made over the years, usually in memorial and remembrance of people that are no longer with us. And the intent of it was that those donations can generate an annual payout that represents their future continued contribution to the church, even though they're no longer with us. And right now, we're not budgeting for it because we have other robust savings, thanks to y'all. So we have it zero. At any point in time, we can, instead of reinvesting that, we can have that turned back on to generate a payment of $3,000 to $6,000 a year in growth that they'll pay out at our choice. So, good question.
What are we doing with the Argonne House? What's the purpose of that?
So it's had many purposes over the years. I don't know if we want to talk to, are we still on the current plan?
Yeah, so right now, the Argonne House is sitting empty because we had we had water damage, very extensive water damage, 2 Octobers ago. So this past year, we spent a lot of time and money investing in much-needed repairs because we hadn't done any in a long time, and fixing the water damage. And we our plan in the year to come is to enter into a contract with the gentleman who is currently doing our landscaping, and he and his family will move into the house in exchange for continuing to work on the landscaping and doing other maintenance tasks around the church. Including snow removal.
Did you have further questions, or is that good? Okay, all right. Anybody else? Don't apologize.
What is the most likely unexpected expense in the next 2 years?
Wait, what was that? I will say that we were blessed to get new roofs on both properties, courtesy of the insurance company, so that's off the table. So unforeseen, yes. You mentioned, you were talking about this one, Andrew? Yeah, so well, it's not unforeseen. Likely, yes, what is this now, 35-year-old HVAC unit above your heads? We're going to have to fix that or replace that at some point in time. But right now, it's outperforming the newer one, so we're just going to let it roll. Right?
Are we not, excuse me, financially in a position where we can proactively consider doing that instead of it happening where we don't want it to go out?
So that would be ideal, and that's part of I believe that's part of the reason that we've been having a small amount of savings that we save and put aside, so that when we feel the time is right, we haven't really done that. It would be fantastic to do that, to start looking at that. We can just put our new junior warden on figuring that out and figuring the timing. I mean, I hear you, and I wouldn't want to suffer, especially in the summer, but man, it's still working. So, right?
We never really have enough money for all our expenses because as you would hope for a church, I think, like Harvard has I don't know, $26 billion endowment that they just roll over year and year over year, and so when you give to Harvard, they're not even using it, they're just putting it into their endowment fund, right? So I don't think you give to a church for us just to put it into savings funds. You give to a church because you expect us to put it into play and help people right now. And so since our vision, like bringing Josh on, strictly speaking, in terms of our budget itself, we can't afford Josh, but we think it's good for a church.
Never mind the baby.
Yeah, never mind the baby.
It'll be okay.
We think we do. And frankly, if push ever came to shove, I'd stop getting paid before Josh had stopped getting paid. I mean, we'll just be clear about that. But the point is that we think a church's vision should always exceed the resources, which means we're always applying resources to direct needs. And so when we come to things that, within reason, that we knew were coming that weren't anticipated, we think people will rise to the occasion and will take that as they come. Like the air conditioning system over there. So, yeah, we sort of do have the money, but really we want to keep that money in play and keep doing the good work that the moment requires and believe that the moment that this quits, we'll take care of it like we always have. And that's sort of what we're trusting. Meantime, we'll pay Josh.
What is spiritual formation? I've never been a part of something like this, so I don't know what spiritual formation is, and why is it separate from outreach?
So outreach is focused outward, right? Like out of the church. Spiritual formation is what is happening with us, our journeys, your journey with Jesus. How resources we can put towards, and I wish do we have a leader here? I don't want to butcher this, but things that help you grow spiritually, things that help you, be it.
So it's things like Sunday school, the youth programs, the Wednesday night programs, the things that we do that aren't Sunday morning, but are meant to help you deepen your faith and your understanding of God.
She did it. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Oh. Okay.
Quick question about the trailer. I know the trailer in the past, we've talked about fixing the communication system. I know there's like 2 space heaters in there now. Do we consider the trailer done and there's no need to think about it? Or are we still in a position that says, no, there's a lot of work to be done on the trailer?
So.
I
Go
can
ahead.
speak to the HVAC system in the trailer. So part of our huge HVAC expenses were also to replace the 2 units in the trailer. However, when they were installed, the company who installed them, they're rated, whatever, they're supposed to be 15 kilowatt systems, and they installed 5 kilowatt systems. So the extra 10 kilowatts are on order because we didn't notice it until it got really cold. So that's why they have voluntarily, at their own cost, given us those space heaters so we can continue to at least use the space temporarily. And then the new heating parts should be coming sometime in February. So we do still plan to use the trailer. It's a key spot for Hearts. Backpack Buddies uses the right-hand side. And almost every single night of the week, there's a meeting of some sort in there. So the trailers are very much still in play.
On that same subject, are there any long-term plans for keeping the trailer or replacing the trailer with something more permanent? I know they're way past their expected life.
They were end of life when we bought them, which is how we were able to buy them. However, so I agree. Yes, I don't want to get too much into it. There are things we would like to do: church expansion, parking lots, replacing the classrooms on the hill, as some people like to call them. So yes, I don't believe it's on the docket for 26, but it is always in consideration because they do fulfill a valuable need in our work in our ministry. So, sorry, Josh.
Just because it's not broken out, and I actually don't know the answer to this yet, but are we current with our assessment to the diocese?
We are way good.
Okay.
We are exceeding expectations, and have been for several years. So, happy to get into that with you, or anything else.
Actually, I just heard the question, what does that mean?
Yeah. What is
Assesses to the diocese?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah, so there's a general organization, the Diocese of Virginia, that St. Matt is part of, and the bishops with the diocese. And so they expect that we support them financially because they too don't have sources of income other than what the churches, give them or endowments they may have. And so they take that money, run their expenses and stuff in support of the it's a lot, 100 plus churches in the Diocese of Virginia. They help support. They have given us help and support in the past when we were doing the parish hall revamp with a mustard seed gift and help and guidance, and they are a resource to us. But like right now, they have a covenantal giving minimum that they expect all churches in the diocese to support them with. Basically 10%. 10% of our income is what they expect. And so, Josh asked how, because for many, I think probably most churches aren't. Over half, I think. Yeah, aren't in good standing with their support, that either because they just can't or haven't gotten to a place where they can. And that was us, many years ago. But we have worked faithfully in supporting that relationship to get to a place where we can do our part. And we look at it as outreach because we're donating to them. They're supporting other churches doing similar work in the state.
They support a lot of small churches. They also support college ministry at almost all the Virginia schools. They just do a lot of good work out in the world that are beyond our doors in our local community.
Shrinemont?
Shrinemont is part of that, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So where does that show up on the expense side?
Under outreach.
Okay. Thank you.
Huh?
Might be getting into the weeds, but I was just curious. The interest generating income stream, percentage-wise, is that just like a high yield interest savings account, or is there opportunities that we structure perhaps savings or surplus into an index fund to try to generate more than $7,500? I guess I was just looking at it and doing math in my head, and I'm sure there's some tax laws associated with churches and income and that stuff, but I was just curious where the $7,500 comes from.
So that is a conservative estimate. I think our actual was closer to $18,000.
Okay.
In 25.
That's why I was asking, because performance of the market is.
We want to be conservative because, like Rob said, when the need arises, we want to have the cash available to meet the needs. So no, other than the endowment fund, which is the longer, it's in 10 different things, but it's more aggressive, but not super aggressive, because we know we're not going to need the money for a while. But our general savings and stuff, we did change banks. We did restructure. I can't remember what the thing is called, where the money gets swept over a certain threshold into a different account, and then we always work to get higher interest rates. But we're not trying to be aggressive with the money.
No, I understand. Yeah, just curious.
Capital One is 3.3%, so we'd be looking at about like $50,000 in interest.
What?
Capital One is giving like 3.3% on a savings account.
Yeah, I think actually I'm pretty sure we're closer to 4 through our local banking relationship that we had. So competitively, we were right there. But but I hate to I would hate to over forecast interest. I look at it more as a gift when it comes in $10,000 higher, and we can make adjustments as it goes. Because again, we want to be conservative on putting the money out there, kind of thing. I don't know if that answer your question.
Can I just add one thing, Dan?
Yes.
One of the challenges that we have being a nonprofit is that most of our income, forgive me, I don't know the percentage, but a huge portion of our income comes in the month of December, and then it slowly, for lack of a better term, whittles away over the year, which is why regular recurring donations are so helpful to us. Obviously, we love huge, generous acts in December, but we still have to pay the bills all year long. So we also have to be careful about how we're investing, because the money that we have today in our checking account, we're going to need in these next few months, right? As our income is lower than what it is in the last 2 months of the year. So that's another issue that presents itself for us.
That makes sense? Okay. did you have another follow-on question about the diocese?
Oh, no. Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? Questions or?
Before Miriam's, thanks for asking questions. That's the most questions I've heard in an annual meeting in probably 10 or 15 years. We love questions. So if there's anything you didn't get to ask and you want to ask, please feel free to do so. Thank you.
And if this stuff interests you, happy to have you. Happy to have talk to you about the finance committee. So.
Right. Yes. All right. Anybody else?
Great.
No? Fine. Yes, he did. Good job, Dan. Good job. Let's see. All right. All right. Thank you, Dan. I would just like to say how much I enjoy being a member of, right, because I was a member before I ever was on staff, how much I enjoy being a member of a church where questions are welcome and finances are openly discussed. And all year long, if you have questions, we want to hear them because you're very likely not the only one who has those questions. So your questions are always welcome. All right. So just to sort of wrap things up, I had an amazing experience this week, and I knew I had to share it with you. It maybe starts off with not the best of me, but hang in there. I rally in the end, okay? So Monday morning, just this last Monday morning, to refresh your memory, it had been a week of no school and the first of many school delays, right? And I'm tooling into the church parking lot, and I get a text. And I open it up, and it's from Loudoun County Family Services. And it says, does St. Matthew's have someone who can shovel out a driveway and a sidewalk today? It's not been touched since the storm. I'm not going to lie. Literally, my head hit the steering wheel like this. And I'm like, really? Not touched? Everybody is back at school. Everybody is back to work. Like, you couldn't have called me the day it happened. Like, ugh. I just, how in the world am I going to make this happen? And then, is exactly, I mean, literally. And I just sat in the car for a minute, like, this can't be happening. And then, this is where it gets even worse, a voice in the back of my head said, do I really have to make this happen? I even texted it out, like, hey, everybody's back at work. I'm not sure I can do this. But then I erased all that, and I started asking for some questions, thinking maybe I could find myself an out. Is she elderly? Nope. Maybe, okay. Does she have family nearby? No. Has she asked her neighbors? And this is the answer. This is the one that, like, just sort of got to me, changed everything. So Elizabeth, my friend at the county, she said no, right? No friends, no relatives. She doesn't own a shovel, and she's all alone. Dang. Right? All alone. And that is when it turned from being a task to being my neighbor. Right? To being my neighbor. This isn't just some like checklist. This is a real person who feels totally alone in the world, right? And think about how much, I sort of envisioned this ice as a barricade to her, keeping her in her home, not able to go out. So I texted back, I've got it. Give me a couple hours. So then I'm thinking, think. Right? Think. And I reached out to a man who's super dependable, because I needed one of those, right? In that moment, I needed dependable. So he's a legacy member, grew up in the pews, coming to church with his parents and his grandmother, went to Sunday school every week, went to VBS, played the drums for us on occasion, right? Watched his parents and his grandmother serve absolutely tirelessly in so many ways, week in and week out. And today he serves our country and our community. Like, this is the guy. Come on, right? No whammies. No whammies. So I text him, and I knew, right? Like this, I mean, you know, this was back-breaking, ice-cracking work that I'm asking someone to do after they have worked all day. In minutes, Elijah's reply came back, "Yep, happy to help." I just stared at my phone and gave thanks that we raise and we are that kind of people. But how do we get there, right? We get there to become a community where we raise our children and we support each other to say, yes, I'll grab my shovel, because she didn't even have a shovel. I'll go home, get my shovel, and show up. It's no program. No one program is gonna produce people like that, right? It is a day in and day out, week by week, every Sunday practice of showing up. We follow Jesus, we do the work, we encourage each other, and frankly, when one of us is tired, we need somebody else to shine. And that's what happens here, right? We give our time, we give our money, we give our prayers, and when the ice is thick and really hard to break through, we lean into it and we give a little bit more. Jesus is going to call us and has called us to love everyone, everywhere, all the time, and that's a tall, tall order. But we're not going to do it alone. We do it together. So let's do it together in 2026. Right. Let's see. How'd we do? Look at that. 7 minutes to spare. 7 minutes. We did it. All right. Thank you, everybody. We're so thankful for you.
And if anybody wants to ask me any questions, I'll be in the parish hall. Certainly feel free to find me and just ask me
Yes.
any questions. If I don't get back here in time, just start.
All right.